You are now watching Raptor Nation Podcast, a fan-made pod that covers news on your Toronto Raptors and the community.
All right, hello everybody. Welcome to the Raptor Nation Podcast. I'm your host Marcus, and I'm joined with my host Mel. How you doing this week, Mel?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm good. You know, it's another rough week in Raptors land, but we're back with another video. So, some news came out today, or not today, but earlier this week that Masai's contract negotiations are going to begin later this week. How you feel about that? Do you want to bring him back? And I hope you do, but
yes, I really want Masai back. I think he's a crucial part in the success of this team. So, fingers crossed, man. I'm praying.
I agree. You look back to what he's done, the Andrea Bargnani trade, got Norman Powell, OG, Gary Trent out of that. It's just this guy has literally put Toronto on the map in a basketball sense, and I truly hope we can come to a deal. I think MLSC, give him a blank check, honestly. Just give him a blank check, write whatever he wants on it, and bring him back, because we need to win again. But anyways, moving on to the games this week. We're going to run through these quick just because they were kind of tank games, but there are some good things to pull out of these. So first game of the week was against the Clippers in Tampa this time, where we fall 115-96. And it was an all-around effort from the Clippers. Kawhi had 20, Zubac with 18.
Great game for
Paul George. Yeah, Paul George was 16, but most notably, Terrence Mann off the bench killed us. 20 points on, get this, Mel, 100% shooting.
Insane.
100% shooting. What do you think about that game?
I don't know, man.
Yeah, that was one where you kind of zone out. You didn't really watch that one.
These past few games have kind of been like that. It's just been like
it's
checking
just
in here and there.
It's kind of heartbreaking. You got to see what the young guys are up to. So what do you think about this Clippers game, Mel?
So after this, it was the night where our 7-year playoff run came to an end. So obviously this was disappointing and
tragic.
Yeah, but considering what we had to endure this season, expected, and I feel like a lot of people are obviously glad just so we can get on with the season and move on to next season. But I feel like a lot of fans like yourself and myself who've been watching from the time where we struggled to even make the playoffs, that like we just look at it from the lens that we're proud of this team and how far we've come and developed in these past 7 years, that and that this is just temporary. Like we're not rebuilding. We have the right pieces. We're just kind of taking a break, and we're gonna be back.
Sure. It's just like a little retool, you know, not a full rebuild. We're just getting some more pieces to help us contend next year, hopefully. Moving on to the next game, Raptors fall once again, 102-114, this time to the Chicago Bulls, but there's some positives in this game. Stanley Johnson looking like an NBA legend out there with a masterclass 35 points, not 15. Whoa, 35 points on an efficient 54% shooting. So
also 10 boards.
That was
5 dimes.
Great, double.
Shooting
35 points,
three.
solid 54%. I'm surprised he was hitting step back threes, fadeaways. It was insane. That wasn't enough to beat the Bulls. Lauri Markkanen 20, LaVine with 24.
Great start for the Raptors rookie backcourt last night. Malachi Flynn and Jalen Harris. Harris hitting his career best 17 points. Their first time starting together. What do you think about the potential in this young duo?
Oh, it's through the roof, especially after Jalen Harris's last week. He's shooting super efficiently. His three-point shot is automatic. This guy's a bucket. Every shot he shoots, it looks like it's going in.
Yep.
He's getting inside, mixing up guys. He's taking it to the rack, dunking. He's fantastic. I'm very, very happy with Jalen Harris. Malachi Flynn has also been stepping it up this past week. His scoring has been a little inconsistent this year, but it's looked good this past week. His decision-making has looked good. His handles have been okay. They've been okay, but his decision-making is there. His passing vision is there, and I really like to see those improvements from him. I'm really happy with Malachi's scoring improvements. His three-point shot, although inconsistent, I'm glad it's starting to fall because I know he was struggling earlier in the season. But, you know, he's looking good. And he has a whole summer. Yeah, and they have a whole summer now to get work in.
Yeah, these two have been playing great for us the past few games in this key developmental time for the Raptors where all our starters are out. Also, this game, Aaron Baines sighting. It's been a long time
Oh.
since we saw Aaron Baines on the court.
Yeah, he had a shoulder bandage on, but it was another rough game for Baines against the Bulls. It was another rough game for Baines, but we support him. We want him to do well. He's on our team. We want him to do well.
It's unfortunate.
He's endured a lot. He's endured a lot of slander this year. It's unfortunate because he had a really decent season last year in Phoenix, but this year has not been good for
sucks it
him.
didn't
But
work out between us, but it's been
yeah.
good to see him play. Just
yeah,
get
it's
some
good to see him
buckets.
get some minutes and
Yeah.
get some reps in there. But hey, it's all right.
Yeah.
So moving on to the next game, Raptors lose once again to secure the seventh seed in or the seventh
Seventh.
best odds
Yeah.
against the Bulls. But we are now playing the Mavericks and we fall 114 to 110 in a crucial game for the Mavericks. Actually, this was making sure they didn't fall down to the play-ins, but we do fall 114-110. And wow, this was the Jalen Harris and Malachi show. What did you think about those two tonight?
God, it just seems like they surprise me every game, man. I love seeing
Yeah.
them play together. Malachi Flynn contributing 26 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and Jalen Harris, new career high, 31 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists.
After getting his career high against the Bulls, so that's
Yeah.
back-to-back career highs.
Back, that's insane. And to think he's the 59th pick in the draft, I just love him.
Absolutely, he gets better every game,
Yeah.
and that was an efficient 57% he shot that game against the Mavericks. Solid game.
So,
But
I just love how he bursts with energy to the rim, and it's like he's stepping into his threes with confidence. And I've seen online a lot of people are comparing him kind of somewhat to Norman Powell. What do you think about this comparison?
I don't see the comparison to Norm, but I do like if you're talking about the scoring ability, maybe. I feel like Norm's game was a little different. He was
I
more
feel like it's more of
he was more driving kick and a spot up type of guy. He's starting to develop the playmaking abilities though, which I'm very happy to see. But
I think the
I don't see
comparisons
that.
are more of like confidence level, maybe.
confidence wise, I see that in confidence wise,
not
but
necessarily their game. Yeah.
not their games. But it was good to see Jalen Harris ball out in front of his family too. The hometown kid comes back to Dallas, 31,
Love
solid
to see
game.
it.
Still wasn't enough to beat Porzingis and Luka, but that's just how the season's gone.
Yeah.
That's just how the season's gone. It's good to see the young guys get minutes. That's what these last games are about.
Mhm.
Seeing our guys develop, get better, improving. Because it's the NBA. In the NBA, no game is worthless. You're always having
There's always
areas
something
to
take
move.
from
Yeah.
every game. Yeah.
Our next game is going to be tomorrow at 1 o'clock. We are recording this on Saturday, so
So
Pacers game we're expecting to lose. It's just one of those seasons, you know. But we do play
maybe-
tomorrow. We do play tomorrow against the Pacers. We will talk about that game next week. But this end to the season brings one of the most crucial off seasons in recent Raptors history that I can think of. So
Yeah.
I think one of our big priorities this offseason needs to be bringing in another big man. What do you want to see us do this offseason, Mel?
Honestly, okay, so I'm speaking in terms of Lowry, I'm kind of torn. I want him back, but also if he wants to go, I'm open to it as long as it's I hope if he leaves that he does go home and not somewhere else. I don't know. I don't want to see him on the Heat.
I don't want
or
to see him in
anything.
LA. I don't want to see him in
Yeah,
LA, that's for
no.
sure.
The only places
Hey.
I want to see him go are either home or if somehow him and DeMar team up somewhere.
Oh, that would be
That
fantastic,
would be
wouldn't
great.
it?
Yeah.
Wow. And
My heart would be so happy.
where would they go? Where could the two of them go, though?
Don't know. I don't see it happening though. So
Oh, no. Imagine they go to, like, Minnesota, team up with Cat, and win a ring.
no way. I don't see that.
No way,
But
but yeah, I think in my opinion, I feel like this offseason we really need to focus on
Signing Masai.
focus on Masai. That's
Yeah.
priority number one, because if we have Masai,
Then
we're set. But as far as personnel wise, I feel like there's still a glaring hole in the middle. We don't know if we're bringing back Freddie G, which I think we will. Kevin Birch will probably bring back, but I still think there's opportunity to upgrade in the middle.
Yeah.
We can get ourselves a nice good center. Hopefully one who can shoot. Maybe we can make a move, trade for one. Porzingis isn't happy in Dallas, so maybe we could trade for him. Just thoughts, just throwing things out there. But I do think a big man should be our priority.
Yeah. I agree.
We're gonna have a good pick this year, hopefully. Hopefully we don't
Yeah.
fall past. Hopefully we move up and not back, but
Yeah.
who knows? We're the Raptors, anything can happen. But talking about next year, this offseason, developing. Pascal has been electric to end the season. He hasn't got to play the past couple games, but his past games that he has played, he's been on fire. And something that has been a little concerning to Raptors fans this year is his consistency. What have
Yeah.
you thought about Pascal this year, Mel?
So like to start it off this season, he wasn't playing his best, but I love how like around halfway through the season, it seems like his confidence has just skyrocketed, and it's been evident through his game, and I love seeing it. I love seeing him prove the haters wrong. Yeah, I'm really excited. Hopefully he can stay consistent and start off next season strong.
Absolutely, and I think you can do it. You just look this year. I don't know if it's the Florida thing, but you go back to the bubble.
I like to think it's
and-
that.
Yeah, you go back to the bubble. Something happened. I don't know what it was. He wasn't able to get in a gym and practice, but really threw him off. But I think he's finally back on track. He needs to get one of those game winners to fall. It will eventually. I know it's hard to watch, but it will fall eventually. I
Yeah.
truly believe it. But it's good to see Pascal playing well, and that consistency really needs to be there next year, in my opinion.
Mhm.
And I think it will be. I really have faith in him.
Yeah.
But all right. So another key piece going into this offseason is going to be OG and his development. You've seen this year, he's bringing in the handles. His shot is. He's a great three-point shooter. I can't even explain how good it is because every shot he shoots, it looks like it goes in.
Yeah.
But his defense is already A1. He should be all defense this year. Doesn't look like it's gonna happen, but he should be. But what have you thought about OG, and what do you think this offseason is gonna entail for him, and how he's gonna improve his game this offseason?
So like you said, I feel like OG is a huge part of the future of this team. Since his rookie season, he's demonstrated how well he plays defensively, and I agree he should be on all NBA defensive team this year. Not gonna happen though. And
Absolutely, yeah.
we've seen this season how his offense has developed over the years, because you could tell the first season it wasn't there in his rookie year, but I've loved seeing him develop. Like you said, great three-point shooter. He can only get better, and I'm excited to see what that brings next season. Yeah. Speaking of OG Anunoby, today we are lucky to welcome one of his biggest fans as a guest on the pod, Queen of Raptors Twitter and Friendship Twitter, none other than herself, Sierra, also known as Open Gym Anunoby on Twitter. Sierra, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
We're doing good. It's nice
Awesome.
to have you on.
Welcome.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I've been waiting for this.
So yeah, we're so happy to have you on as a guest. I know we've talked about this. So we know you've been supporting OG for quite a long time. Can you tell us the story of how you became a fan of him, and was there anything that like initially stood out to you when you first became a fan?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm not a huge college basketball person. I'm definitely more into the NBA, but I do follow Duke's basketball team. But I remember when I was looking into it for the year, I heard that there was a 6'8" wing going to Indiana U, and I was like, that's crazy. Who the hell is this? So I watched a couple of their games, and this man was just a monster. Even as a freshman, sophomore, he was insane, tearing up the court, and he wasn't a well-known prospect at all. And I just really saw a lot of Kawhi in him. A lot of people made the Kawhi comparison, and people either thought you were crazy or they were yeah, I see it, because just his length, the way he's able to guard 1 to 5, and everyone saw a lot of offensive capabilities. And then he tore his ACL, so that year we had the 23rd pick, I believe, And I just remember hoping that like someone good would fall to us, but I was like, this would be a perfect opportunity for OG to fall because a lot of teams were scared to take a chance on like someone that went through a major injury.
Right.
And lo and behold, a lot of teams passed on him and he ended up falling to us and we drafted him. And a lot of people too thought like he would miss a big chunk of his rookie year, but our team is amazing. Like Alex McKegney,
Alex,
they rehabbed
Yes, we
him.
love him.
Yeah. And so he was able to play like that year and he just had
I don't think he missed a single game that year.
No, I think his like debut was a little bit late, but like he pretty much played like throughout the whole year. And like
Yeah.
I just remember too, everyone started getting on board with him when he had to play defense on LeBron, for the
LeBron,
Cavs
oh my
series.
God, he did so well.
Yeah. Like that was literally like, I know we got swept, but like that was
But
like our secret weapon
It
because
showed
The
a lot of
confidence.
potential. And yeah, the
Yeah.
confidence.
The confidence to take that last shot in Game 3, I think it was,
yeah,
and
yeah.
nail it. And then, of course,
that's-
LeBron hits the game winner, but
And that's the thing too, like when you're that big, when you're 6'8" and you're a wing, like shooting can be difficult. Like we see Pascal kind of struggling, but OG's shooting, like he's been shooting 40% from three. So that's just what makes him special is like he's one of the best defenders in the NBA. He can shoot the three, like he's getting his mid range now. He can get to the rim. Like I truly believe like he's gonna be a special player in this league. He already
I agree.
is.
His
Yeah.
potential is off the charts, and honestly, I think he has all-star potential if he
Yeah.
continues to improve his game. His handle started to improve the past few years. His three-point shot's automatic. I'm super excited to see where he goes and takes us, hopefully.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. Like he like if you watch the team when he's not playing, the defense kind of falls apart. Like
Yeah.
he truly is like our anchor.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
speaking of OG, what do you want all these OG haters and people who slander him relentlessly on Twitter? What do you want them to know?
That's a really good question. Because to be honest, I feel like at the point we're at right now, everyone kind of now sees like that OG has this crazy upside and like he's really coming into this role of like he can be our second option. Like he had a stretch of games where he was scoring 20 points a game. Like I feel like people are starting to see it. So I think like what I would just ask of people is to kind of have that same patience with other players. Like, you know, everyone was kind of wanting to trade OG when he was in a slump in his third year. They wanted to trade him for the second pick. They wanted to trade or include him in trade packages. And like now that he's becoming a special player, he's a lot of people's untouchable. Like I hear people say like he's the only person on the roster, like I wouldn't trade. So I want people to like apply that logic to like other players like Gary Trent Jr., Malachi, Freddie, Jalen, any of them, and kind of just give them that time to develop. Like we know this team isn't like gonna win a championship next year. So it's another good year to like be a playoff team and let these young players get the experience and development that they need, because we saw how well OG did in the playoffs and we saw how important that experience was to him, especially when Kawhi left, becoming a starter again and getting all these minutes. So players will struggle, but at the end of the day, you have to give them that time to develop skills and come into their roles.
Yeah, I completely
Absolutely. And
agree.
OG has missed on, realistically, he's missed on 2 whole playoff runs, because even if you count the bubble, there's no fans. It's not like real playoff run, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
he still needs to get that confidence. He wasn't there for the championship run. The bubble is the bubble. There's no fans. There's not the playoff energy. But once he comes
And
back, and it'll just be good experience for him.
Yeah, and like arguably he like in the bubble playoffs, like he was our most consistent player. Like I think people kind of overlook that because he's not someone that's gonna go score like shot for shot 30 points, but he was guarding the other team's best player. I know there's a clip, there's a thread of him on Twitter of like the way he switched on Tatum and Brown like so consistently, just locking them down. Like he truly locks in the playoffs, and any playoff experience he has only made him a better player. So I think like he's gonna truly like tear it up next year, and I think we're gonna make the playoffs. So I think we're gonna get
Oh,
to see
for
playoff
sure.
energy again.
Top 10 pick added onto this team. This team is too talented to be where they're at, in my opinion.
Yeah, like I think Fred VanVleet said we're the worst team in the league or something like that. And
Of all time, which is true.
Oh yeah, of all time. Yeah. We're true. Like So I just think that, like, you know, this longer off season is going to be really great for all the players to like refine their skills and add to their game, and I think this team's going to look completely different coming back in October or whenever the season's supposed to start. I think October.
Yep, and hopefully we'll be
Yes.
back in Toronto.
Yeah, I hope so. That's
Good
a big
riddance,
thing too.
Tampa. Yeah. So leading into tomorrow's Pacers game, what are your thoughts? And do you think Kyle will play? And do you think this is his last game with us?
I personally like really want them to play the starters, even if it's for only like the first quarter, and then let the bench play and, you know, see who's going to be on the team next year, see who works well together. But I would like them to allow us to see like this iteration of the team play together one more time. Even if they don't, at least we'll know that, like, worst case scenario, Kyle's last game as a Raptor was the LA game, which was amazing. Like,
Yeah.
he put up 37. But
Great last game.
in
if it
terms of
is.
Kyle, like, staying a Raptor, I don't like. I go back and forth every day. Like,
Yep, I feel
I
you.
see, yeah, like I see how it would be beneficial for him to stay with us, because realistically, like, we're the ones that can offer him the most money.
Yeah.
I know LA, Clippers, Lakers, and Philly would have to clear a bunch of cap space, and Miami could sign him, but Miami's the only real threat right now, because they could sign him straight up, especially now that Victor Oladipo might be out for next season. But I think for him, like, he loves developing and coaching the young players, and like he knows we value him, so I could see him staying for those reasons.
Yeah, I feel like
The
if
thing
he
is,
was
like,
anywhere else, he wouldn't be getting that same respect. Definitely not.
Yeah, and like he said that after the trade deadline too. He said, like, you know I'm valued here, and I think he really saw that other teams, they weren't willing to give up players like Tyrese Maxey or Taylor Horton Tucker, and
Mr. Tim
like
Horton.
that's kind of
Yeah.
Tim Horton Tucker. Like, that's not really like valuing him.
Definitely not.
But I could also see if he wants to get another ring and, you know, solidify his legacy, help another team get there. And I totally respect that. Like, he's done
For
so
sure.
much for this organization. So if that's what he wants, I totally understand. I just don't want it to be with the Clippers.
I feel you.
Rightfully
like,
so.
If he left, I would like to see him either go home or possibly team up with DeMar, which I don't think is going to happen. But yeah, it would definitely hurt to see him leave.
He needs to go to
Yeah.
the Suns. Go to the Suns. Play with D-Book, CP3.
It's
And-
like 60-40 for me right now. Like, I think
Yeah.
60% he's staying, 40% he's leaving. I don't know. Like, it really is. It's close, but that would be cool if him and DeMar teamed up and went
That would
somewhere.
I would love that. But I think that's
Do you
very
know where
unlikely.
DeMar's going?
I don't know. I just know he wants
Ooh.
out. That would,
Yeah.
I really don't know where. But
I remember a few years ago there was rumors linking DeMar to Orlando, but that's probably out the window now.
yeah.
But I'm just I don't know where he'd go either.
I
But,
just there's rumors of like LA, but I don't like, while I'd like him to be home, I don't want him to go to LA. Like, I don't want him to go to the Lakers or anything like that.
no, either
A
LA
lot of
team.
people are saying like the Knicks too, because like they have the
Yeah,
cap
that'd
space.
be interesting.
Yeah, I think like I'm one of the people that think the Knicks are like actually good now. So
Yeah.
I feel like if it were any other year, I'd be like, no, like, you know, they're gonna waste his talent. But like I think like they're actually a good team. So
Yeah.
I would like to see it, but
I just want him to win a ring. That's
I just want to see him go somewhere where like he's valued.
Yeah, DeMar
yeah,
needs a
that
ring.
too, and where like there's actually enough media coverage on him, so people can actually see
Yeah.
what he's doing.
It's crazy how people forget like how good he actually is. Like, he was ranked like the 82nd best player in the league. Like,
That's
82nd. Yeah, that's so
unbelievably
bad.
disrespectful.
It's almost like it's just every year everyone expects it, because like he just has so much disrespect on his name, and it's so unfortunate.
People literally forget this guy in 2016, not that long ago, literally took LeBron to 6 games with Louis Scola, DeMar Carroll in the
Yeah,
starting
honestly.
lineup.
Yeah, and Bismack Biyombo.
Yeah,
Literally, yeah.
big
like,
business. You gotta love the legend.
it's sad because like I feel like people have this like playoff choker narrative about him, and like
And
it's
he
just
hasn't
stupid.
been like that in so long.
Yeah, I don't know much about the Spurs team, but I know he is literally like the one that is putting the team on his back most nights.
Yeah, he is. He's improved so much, like his game as a whole. He way better defensively, and he's just improved so much under Pop. And I feel like nobody has really watched Spurs games, and there is like zero media coverage for them. So people don't see that, and they just hang on to that narrative from when he was on the Raptors. And I didn't think that there could be any more disrespect from when he was with us, but honestly, I feel like people hate him more now than when he was on the Raptors.
Yeah, like I've seen a couple of games this year, and like his passing has come a long way. Like his playmaking is really good now, and it's just like if he was on a respected team, I feel like he'd be getting a lot more hype. But it's just, yeah, I feel for him. I want him to get the respect he deserves. I really do.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on. Next order of business. Sierra, a little bit more about you. You want to become a lawyer. You're finished law school. You got the bar coming up. So what made you want to become a lawyer? And tell us a little bit how it's been and how the studying for the bar is going, you know?
That's a great question too. Yeah, so I didn't know really that I wanted to go into law until my undergrad when I took a couple of law courses, and I really enjoyed it. And I thought initially I wanted to do family law, which is like way different from what I'm doing now. And so when I went to law school, I took different courses and I participated in different competitions that relate to sports law, and I really fell in love with sports law in general. So I'm hoping that one day I can be a sports agent. That's the goal. But for now, I'll be working in like insurance and sports law with like different sports teams and corporations and things like that. So hopefully one day I can convince an agency to hire me and represent players and get all the best players to Toronto. That's going to be the goal.
That's awesome.
So lucky to have
Yes,
you.
please.
I would love that.
You'd be getting all the free agents.
Yeah, that would be great. But yeah, for now I'm studying for the bar, and I'm taking that on June 10th. So if I pass, that would be really great. That just means I'm closer to being a lawyer. So yeah, that's what I'll be doing for the next couple months, watching playoff basketball with my team not in it. So yeah, that's the plan.
Wait, so you take the bar, and then what else do you have to do until you're like officially a lawyer? Is there any like other certifications?
Yeah, I have to do a 10-month articling period, which is basically you're working as a lawyer, but you're not a lawyer yet. Like a lawyer has to supervise you on everything that you're doing. It's kind of like an internship.
Yeah.
So I'll be doing that. I start in October because of COVID. I was supposed to start in August, but yeah, because of COVID, I'll be starting in October. And then once I finish that, you get called to the bar, which is like you officially become a lawyer and you can practice. So yeah, I still got a year, but I mean, I'm getting closer. So
it's closer. It'll be closer every day. That's exciting. That's exciting.
Yeah, exactly.
You're gonna be able to put together a lawsuit for us for if we get screwed in the draft lottery or something.
That's my first order of business. And honestly, there's so many lawyers and law students on Raptors Twitter, so we're all gonna collaborate.
There's so
together
many,
and,
honestly.
There's a ton. We have to get like a group suit together.
Yeah.
Literally like a group suit. Like.
Yeah, we're gonna sue. First of all, I want to sue Adam Silver for putting us through the season and all these injuries. And then second of all, when we don't get the first pick, I will be filing a statement of claim for that too.
Yes.
That's what I like to hear. We got those in order.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So most people in Raptors Twitter are aware of the incident with the catfish that you and I sussed out. So have you had like any other suspicions of a catfish or any sketchy people on Raptors Twitter?
Oh, it's exposing time. I'm kidding. Okay, so I think most people like know the story because you made a really good thread of like basically what happened. But this guy has done that a couple times, and now my issue is whenever.
Third time?
Yeah, this is like his third time. Like I'm certain it's the same guy because he uses like similar
the same
pictures
name
and like
everything.
the same name. Like make it any more obvious.
Yeah.
But like now, whenever someone like messages me or like responds to my tweets, I'm always like, is this the guy?
Yes,
Like,
I
is
know.
this the catfish?
I
Like
feel
I'm, I'm like suspicious of everyone now. But I can't like pinpoint like one specific person, but I swear to God, like I'll get a DM and I'll look at the account and
I
it'll
know.
have like either like a low following or it'll be like, oh, like created in May 2021 and like catfish.
Yeah, and you'll
That's
be
a
like,
catfish.
you send them to me all the time. I love that.
Yeah. I'm like, wait, oh wait, guys, the injury report just came out.
Whoa,
Oh,
live
everyone.
breaking news. Live breaking news. Let's see.
check it out.
They're sitting everyone again.
Oh my god, are you
No.
kidding me? No
Yeah.
way. Oh my god.
Kyle's out. Yeah, I see it.
That's
No.
that's so stupid.
So we possibly
Oh.
just saw his last.
Okay,
game
let's
as a
not
Raptor.
speak it into existence. Let's imagine he's back.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's so
God.
sad. I thought they would bring
That's-
everyone back for like
Me
the
too.
one. last
Like at
game.
least like let them play for a bit. Like that really wouldn't
Yeah,
hurt
that's
anyone.
so sad.
They're
Oh,
listed as
God.
out though. It's not even like doubtful or anything. They're dang.
Yeah.
They packed him
Wow.
up. Wow, Nick Nurse is such a liar. He
Yeah.
always lies to the media because he literally said the other day, like, oh, like, I expect them to, like, come back or
Yeah,
whatever.
that's what he said.
And then he said yesterday, too, like, oh, yeah, Gary and Boucher are going to play. And then they didn't play, so.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Man.
Nick Nurse. Yeah,
Wow.
sorry. I derailed the catfish.
No, it's okay.
conversation.
No, that was
No,
Sierra's
that's
breaking
fine.
news on
That
her
was
first time on
good.
the show. Breaking news live. Love it.
I
We haven't
literally
even
have,
done
like,
that.
the alerts on because, yeah, that was a Sierra bomb.
Yeah. Hashtag Sierra Bomb.
Literally.
Whoa, that's Karina's thing. You keep
Yeah.
stealing that.
Oh yeah, sorry, Karina. That's my bad. She's like the OG. Like she's like Woj, and I'm like Shams. But, like, I'm not as
you're not a
problematic
Raptors
as
hater.
No,
You don't hate
exactly.
us.
Did you guys hear what he did today? He broke the
No.
news for a prospect of where they're gonna sign. Like, and the
What?
prospect wanted to break his own news. Like it was
No.
so sad. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
Look at
Just
Shams
problematic.
ruining
I
everything, man.
hate him. I hate him.
Honestly, yeah, Jaden Hardy is planning to sign with the G League Ignite, and this man put out a statement last night being like, "Oh, I'm gonna release my news at like 8:30 tomorrow." and
That's so
Shams
sad.
beat him to it.
So, speaking of champs in the NBA, what are your thoughts on the upcoming draft? Who do you want us to pick? Where do you think we're gonna fall?
Great question. So, as most people know, I have been anti-tank, and I lost. We did tank, so I have now educated myself about the draft because what choice do I have? This is my playoffs this year, so I think like the top 5 is pretty set. Although you could switch 3 and 4. So for me personally, I would obviously love us to have the top pick, which is Cade Cunningham, and I just feel like Toronto really hasn't had like that generational talent superstar
Yeah.
since like Vince Carter. Like you
We
could
just had,
argue
like-
like definitely like DeMar and like we had Kawhi for a year, but like I've just heard that Cade Cunningham's supposed to be like like a Zion, Luka type franchise type like player. So I would love to
I
see
hear
in
that, but I don't
Toronto.
know.
Yeah, you
We'll
were saying
see.
yeah.
I don't. My thing is like, I know he's pretty tall. He's like 6'8", right? He's like
Yeah.
a 6'8" guard, but I don't know. We see 6'8" guards in the league all the time. Ben Simmons, and y'all know how he panned out.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just don't see the excitement with him. And plus, I feel like we really need. I know he's tall, but I feel like we really need a center. I guess he could help us on the glass, but I don't know. I get nervous about him. That's my thing. I'm not totally sold. I'm not totally sold.
Like for me personally, like I would pick him at number 1, and then like my number 2 would be Mobley for sure. Like I feel like
Yeah.
Mobley's almost like you if you were to like create like a player that's perfect for the Raptors, everything the Raptors need, it would be Mobley. So
Exactly.
Better fit.
I feel like he's perfect, and I hope like we get 1 or 2, and then from there, personally, I'm a big fan of Jalen Suggs. Like I have been watching a lot of him, and like I know people were really high on him before like March Madness, and then he had like a off game for like their final game because they were in the championship, or is that what it's called? I don't even know.
Yeah, it's
they were in the
championship.
finals. Yeah, and he had like an off game, so people are now putting Green over him, Jalen Green, which is fair because Jalen Green played for like the G League Ignite, so he's played like against professionals. But I just feel like Suggs is the type of player that like you add him to the team, he makes an immediate impact, which like I think that's what we need because we have players that are 27, 28. Like if we keep Kyle 35, like we need those impact players. Whereas Green like has a higher upside for sure, but you might not get that for a couple years. Like he'll make an impact, of course, but he won't reach his potential for a couple years. So I think for what we need, like I would go Suggs, Green, then Kuminga. But I'm just hoping for the number 1 pick.
Absolutely,
That's all I can
yeah.
ask for.
Adam Silver, please answer our prayers,
Please.
man. We've been through too much this year.
Like he said, well, I don't even know if this is true because I tried searching for it and I couldn't find anything, but a lot of people on Raptors Twitter have said that like he said he's gonna reward Toronto for like being in Tampa. Have you
I
guys
highly
heard
doubt that. No, I haven't heard it, but I
Don't
highly
believe that
doubt
for a second.
Like I feel like like I don't know. I feel like I know Toronto brings a lot of revenue to the NBA because it's like,
Yeah, we're like the
Mhm.
fourth
The whole
biggest
country.
market.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I totally get that. So you'd think like he'd want to put a top player there, but then you know how he spoke about like the Masai incident, and then we all called him out for basically blaming Masai, like
Yeah.
with the cop. I feel like maybe like he has a grudge against us. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just very
I
like
think so, too.
suspect of Adam Silver.
I'm just terrified until the lottery happens. Like,
Yeah.
That day
I
is
don't-
gonna
Interesting.
feel like a playoff game. Like
It's gonna be
my
so
stomach's
stressful.
gonna
Can
be
have
knots.
that atmosphere.
Like if we don't, okay, I understand like picking the top 10 is great no matter what, but like if we don't get within the top 5,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be so sick.
yeah, like
Especially
remember
considering
that-
the season
remember that
we've
feeling?
had.
yeah, remember that feeling when we're against the Celtics, about to go down 0-3, and then OG hits the shot? Like,
Yep.
I'm gonna be feeling like that all day.
Yeah.
Like,
Honestly.
The worst feeling I've ever felt was the day of Game 7 of Philly. Like I could not even function. Like my
Yeah.
stomach was like turning and yeah.
It's gonna be like that.
So I'm gonna feel like that again.
the things we have to go through, this team puts us through too much. Like,
Yeah.
we're losing gears off our life, guaranteed.
Yeah, I need a winning season next year because I feel like all the other franchises and like all my friends that aren't Raptors fans, they think it's so funny that we are in the playoffs and they're getting all their jokes off. So I'm like,
Wow.
yeah, okay, make them now. 'Cause
Find
next
new
year we're gonna
friends,
be
what?
back.
Yeah, exactly.
Like an Orlando Magic fan was like clowning us. I was like, are you kidding me?
Whoa.
A Magic
Here, this is
fan
where we
has
are.
the
I was
audacity. Oh God.
That's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna need us to be back next year, which like I personally think we'll be back in the playoffs, like
I think so. too.
regardless, because we have we have Pascal, OG, and Fred on the books, and yeah, I think we'll be fine.
I can't believe it. Just hopefully we bring back Messiah. That's my thing.
That's the big thing for us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you guys see that tweet that it said that the size negotiations are supposed to begin like next week? or
Yeah.
something?
Yep.
this
We
week or
talked about that a
something.
little
Yeah,
earlier.
we
It's
did.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
Just before we got you
nerve-wracking.
on. Yeah.
nerve-wracking. I said we
just-
just need to give him a blank check. Take whatever you want.
Yeah. I just don't see. I don't think he would leave to go to like another team. I think he would leave for like a bigger opportunity, like whether that's like ownership or something.
Yeah.
But I just hope like MLSE like takes care of him because like he's done so much for this franchise. Like we were in the gutter before he got here. So,
Oh yeah. He
like,
literally
we were down
And people
bad.
don't realize like the impact he's had and like the players he's gotten for us.
the hard decisions he's had to make.
Yeah, trading
Yeah.
DeMar.
It's crazy.
When it happened, so many people were mad, but looking back, we needed that so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like our first championship was because of him. Our first playoff appearance in years was because of him. Like the players that we have right now are because of him. Like I don't think like I've been a fan for like a while, but I don't remember us ever having a good scouting department like we do now, like where we're able to find all these gems that are like undrafted and
Yeah.
late picks. So everything is like because of Masai, and I feel like MLSE like in the past has always valued like the Leafs and the TFC and whatever, and I just feel like they need to value the Raptors just as much because
Yeah,
it's
look
so
at the
important for the
championship
franchise.
night. How many people came out? The parade. He had 2 million people
That
almost.
was insane.
It was like this team
Yeah.
is Toronto now. Like it's crazy.
And this is the argument. Like I know Marcus, you're a Leafs fan, so I won't go too hard on my Leafs hate. But this is the argument I have with a lot of people is that they're like, oh, the Leafs have a way bigger fan base, and I'm like, yeah, that's older people. People under 35 are Raptors fans.
Yeah.
Like Raptors are what's relatable. Like it's not just a hockey town anymore. And if you say that, like you're kind of ignorant to.
Yeah.
No, I
most
agree with
people
that. I agree
love
with
the
that. And
Raptors.
I'd
just
never
for the
understood
record,
that.
for the record, Raptors will always be priority. That is just
Yeah.
just saying.
Yeah, like it's just I feel like if Masai didn't come here and basically transform the Raptors, maybe it would be a hockey city because the Raptors would be a lottery team forever. But I feel like this is now one of the most high class organizations in the whole league, and we need Masai to keep that going. I understand Bobby is like his protege, and Bobby is like making all these deals too, but like
We
I
need
just
Masai.
hope that they show Masai that he's valued and like that they want him and they give him whatever he wants. Like
Mhm.
give him ownership. I don't
Literally.
care. Like yeah, so that's like gonna be my biggest stress besides the lottery because I just so many people leave and I'm like, I can't take it anymore. Like just I one of Masai and Lowry, preferably both, but like I need them
We just
to
need
stay.
them to stay.
Yeah.
All right, so just to wrap things up, Sierra, we just wanted to say thank you for joining us today.
Yes, it was a
and
pleasure. Thank you so much.
It was so fun. We loved having you on. Definitely will have you on again if you would like. It was so
Yeah,
fun
for sure. Thank you.
talking about OG and how you became a fan and everything. Is there anything else you want to say before we go?
Oh, I just wanted to say thanks so much for having me, and like I'm obviously good friends with you both, and I'm so excited that you guys decided to create the podcast, and I think like it's really gonna take off, and I'm excited to have been a small part of it. So thank you.
Aw, thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate that a lot. All right, so that's it for this episode, everyone. See you next week for episode 5 of the Raptor Nation podcast. Don't forget to follow us on all social media at Raptor Nation Pod. We'll see you next week.
Thank you for listening to Raptor Nation Podcast. Don't forget to follow on all social media at Raptor Nation Pod.